Hi, I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studio Cycles and StudioCycles.com, and today in this segment we're going to talk about the differences between the Star Trac Spinner NXT and the Schwinn AC Classic bike. The bike I'm leaning on is the Schwinn AC Performance. There are three models in the new Schwinn AC line: the Classic, which is black, the Sport, which is silver, and the Performance, which is white. And we're comparing the three AC models, starting with the Classic to the Spinner NXT, made by Star Trac. The Star Trac Spinner NXT is aluminum. It uses a square tapered bottom bracket and a square tapered spindle in the bottom bracket. It has bottle cages in the handlebars, and it has standard friction top load single pad resistance. The new Schwinn AC Classic is a powder coated steel bike. It has an isosplined bottom bracket, and it also has virtual contact magnetic resistance. The Kaiser M3s were the first bikes to have the magnetic resistance, and Schwinn took Kaiser's technology and expanded on it and made the window wider. So your window from easiest to hardest is much broader. You get a lot more incrementally applied resistance with the Schwinn magnetic resistance. So comparing the Schwinn to the Star Trac NXT, the Schwinn AC Classic to the Star Trac NXT. The Schwinn AC Classic has magnetic resistance. The Star Trac has top load single pad resistance. The Schwinn AC Classic has isospline technology in the bottom bracket. And what isospline technology is in the bicycle industry, the standard was always a tapered spindle in the bottom bracket. And for those of you who don't know what a bottom bracket is the bearing assembly. Every bicycle has a bottom bracket. The bottom bracket fits into the frame. The crank arm is attached to the bottom bracket, and that's what rotates. When you pedal, when your feet go on the pedals screw into the crank arms attached to the bottom bracket or the bearing assembly inside the frame. And in the bicycle industry, the standard was the spindle that runs through the bottom bracket. The ends were square and tapered. You put the crank onto the spindle, you tighten the bolts, and it presses the crank onto the spindle. If you don't keep the crank bolts tight, the cranks have a tendency to loosen up, and with indoor commercial bikes, if the crank comes loose, it will actually snap the end of the spindle off. So if you've ever walked into a spinning room and seen a crank arm and a pedaling on the floor, it's because it's fractured or it's come completely loose from the square tapered spindle. About 10 years ago, the bicycle industry switched to what's called isospline technology, to where the spindle is uniform from one end to the other. It's splined, and the crank arms slide off and on the spindle. You tighten the crank bolts, and the crank bolts never come loose, and the spindle doesn't fracture. The only company to use isospline technology is Schwinn. They use them on their IC bikes, their IC Pro, IC Elite, their IC Evolution. And they brought that technology into the AC lineup as well. So NXT has a square tapered bottom bracket. The AC Classic has an isospline bottom bracket. The AC Classic also has the new Schwinn engineered handlebars, where you have basically 6 to 8 hand positions and a really comfortable aero position. The NXT has 1, 2, 3 hand positions. The NXT does come out of the box with the clip-in pedal, and the AC Classic comes out of the box with the standard basket pedal, so you do need to upgrade the pedal on the AC Classic if you're using a clip-in shoe, or if you're sticking the AC Classic into a commercial environment. Price of the NXT is generally about $1,400 to $1,600. The price of the AC Classic runs about $1,295. That's online in the box with a standard 3-year warranty. We sell the AC Classic at StudioCycles.com at $12.95 with free shipping. We upgrade the pedals for free. We put brand new SPD basket, $85 clip pedals. We pull the bike from the box, build it and tune it, and then we repackage it, and we include our extended lifetime warranty and lifetime free parts replacement. For more information on the Star Trac Spinner NXT or the Schwinn AC Classic, check out studiocycles.com.